Hey guys, welcome to the School of Personal Finance. I'm Nishan and we are in tax harvesting part 2. In previous video, I explained you the concepts related to tax harvesting. If you missed that video, click on the I button on top of page and watch it again. In today's video, we will be focusing on few real life examples to do tax harvesting. I'll take the real life scenarios and explain you how tax harvesting is done. We will also look at few things which you have to remember while doing tax harvesting, and I have a special bonus for you in which we will focus on the smart tips to save more taxes via tax harvesting. So keep watching and do remember to like, subscribe and share my channel. Now let us understand how tax harvesting is done by looking at a real life scenario. What I have done here is that I have listed few simple steps which you have to follow to do tax harvesting in real life. So the first step here is to check what are your realized long-term and short-term capital gain. One point which I like to highlight here is the word realized. By realized, what I mean is you have to sell a particular share to do tax harvesting. So you can get this particular information directly from your stockbrokers. So if you use ICICI Direct, you go to equity, statement and report section, and from there capital gain section. If you have Zerodha, you have a console, go to console, and from there reports and tax loss harvesting. I'm sure other brokers will also have something similar where you can get this information. So from there, what I saw for my portfolio is this particular figure. I had made a short-term capital gain of 66k in this financial year, and I have made a long-term loss of 32,000 rupees. So that is the first step. You find out what are your long-term and short-term capital gains or losses in the current financial year. Once you have found that out, let's move on to step number 2, which is to know what can be adjusted against what. So we can look at the table here again. So in my case, I have a short-term capital gain of 66k, and short-term capital gain can be adjusted only against short-term capital loss. So I should have some short-term capital loss to adjust this. On the other hand, I have a long-term capital loss, and long-term capital loss can be adjusted only against long-term capital gain. So I should have a long-term capital gain to adjust this particular loss here. Clear? Move on to step number 3. Let's calculate the taxes. So what happens if I do not do any tax harvesting and adjust the taxes? My taxes will be as follows. On short term, I will pay 15% tax, which comes to 9,945 rupees. On long term, since it's a loss, I will not be paying any tax. Next step is to decide on the strategy we will use for current financial year. I have one option of carrying forward this particular long-term loss for the next 8 years by declaring it in my ITR and then using it against any long-term gains in future. But if we do not want to hold on to our losses, then these are the two options which we have. Sell short-term stocks having losses or sell long-term stocks having profits. And then once you know what you have to do, you go to your portfolio and you identify the stocks. In my case, my first preference will be to see if there are any stocks which can be sold to make short-term losses so that I can save on this 9,945 rupees. Now what I can do is I'll go to my portfolio. I'll look at stocks which are good in long term but are currently giving me losses. I will sell them and I will buy them immediately so that they are still in my portfolio and in future they will give me good returns. So that's one strategy which I can use. Also, if I do not want to carry forward this loss, since the stock markets are having a bull run, I can sell long-term shares and ensure that the profit which I make from this sale is up to a maximum of 1.32 lakhs, because that is the amount which I can offset against the 32k losses. So if I make 1.32 lakhs as profit, then 1.32 minus 1 lakh minus 32k will give me 0 losses or 0 tax. So once we have identified everything, the stocks, what you want to sell, what you want to buy back, what you want to clear, you take the necessary action of tax harvesting and save the taxes. As simple as that. Now let us go on to section 3, which is all about the things which you have to remember to take care of tax harvesting. First thing first, very important, this particular tax harvesting strategy can be used only for deliveries, not for intraday. So if you are doing intraday stock trading, you cannot apply tax harvesting. The stocks should be delivered in your demat account, and only after that you can sell them and use the tax harvesting strategies. Point number 2, tax harvesting can be done only for equity based products. You cannot do tax harvesting on debt related products, and this can be done for both shares as well as mutual funds. So even if you are a mutual fund subscriber, do not actively involved in buying or selling shares, you can use tax harvesting formulas. Point number 4, brokerage charges for selling and buying will be applicable. So if you are doing tax harvesting, that means you are selling some shares and then you are again buying some shares. For any such transaction, you will have to pay brokerage charges and other associated charges. So just calculate those ones and ensure that they are not very high, otherwise the purpose of tax harvesting will be defeated. Point number 5, take care of price fluctuations. So there might be a case wherein you sold a particular share and by the time you buy it again, the price fluctuations that can cause you significant losses. So that's a risk which you will always have in tax harvesting. Point number 6, you need money for buying. So as I said, tax harvesting can be done only for deliveries. So you need to have good amount of money in your portfolio so that you can do the trade buying and convert it into a delivery. Point number 7, grandfathering. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley in 2018 said that any profits which you make up to 31st January 2018 will be exempted. But any profits which you make after 2018, 31st January 2018, those will be eligible for LTCG and STCG. So what happens if you have held on to a share which is older than this 2018 January 31st date and not made any profits? So to take care of that particular problem, there was a simple rule which was made which said that we will fix a date and that price of the share on that date will be your cost price for all the LTCG calculations in future. So for example, if you had Infosys share which you had purchased in 2015 at say 500 rupees, okay, so on 31/1/2018, cost of this Infosys share was 700 rupees, and then you sell the share on 1/1/2020, so it still classifies as long-term share and you sell it say at 1000 rupees. So in this particular case, how do you calculate your long-term capital gain? What will be your purchase price? You cannot have a purchase price of 500 because this was purchased in 2015 and at that time the tax harvesting was not applicable. So you will have to look at the purchase price of 700 rupees. So your LTCG will be 1000 minus 700, which is equal to 300 into number of shares, and accordingly you will be calculating the taxes. This is the concept of grandfathering. Another point which you have to remember is the FIFO. So first in first out is the concept which is used for all the selling of shares or mutual funds. So if you had purchased any share over the years in small batches, and now if you want to sell them, just remember that the share which you had purchased first, that will be sold first. Moving on to our last section, which is related to the smart tips. So remember that I had told you I will have a bonus section giving you smart tips to maximize your tax harvesting process. Here we go. So the first tip is related to trading on different platforms. Remember I told you how price fluctuations can impact your strategy and tax harvesting. So what you can do is you can sell on one platform, say NSE for example, and after a minute or two, you can buy it on other platform, say BSE in our example. So in this particular way, you will not have to wait much and you can avoid high price fluctuations and get the share back at roughly the similar price. So that's a strategy or tip number one to help you with your tax harvesting. Tip number two, don't restrict yourself to year end. So if you're doing tax harvesting at the end of year, you will have to sell some shares and buy them back as deliveries, which means we need to have bank balance. Now, in year end, bank balance are normally very tight because we focus on buying various policies to save taxes. So don't wait until year end. Try to do it a bit earlier. This will help you avoid maintaining high balance in year end. Tip number three, use tax harvesting strategy to remove bad stocks from your portfolio. So what happens is sometimes we buy a share thinking that it will give us good returns, but over period it does not give us good returns. It is always in red or it's not helping us as much as we would have liked, and we want to remove it, but we do not remove it thinking that we are making losses. So tax harvesting can be a good idea to remove such bad stocks from your portfolio and buy good stocks so that you can earn from them in long term. Tip number 4, complete this activity of tax harvesting latest by 27th of March every year. Why 27th of March? Because all this tax saving, tax harvesting have to be declared in income tax returns. So that means the last date you have is 31st March. And in the unfortunate case of weekends and any public holidays coming, you will not be able to do it if you postpone it to the last minute. So that's the reason I have given you a buffer of 4 days and recommended that you complete this exercise by 27th March. It will not take much of your time. The steps which I showed in section 2, real life example, is what you have to follow on any weekend or any day when you get time. Just log into your uh, demat account, get the report, identify the stocks which you want to buy and sell, and then it's a matter of say 15 minutes in which you can do the tax harvesting, as simple as that. So do it, save money from that, and that will help you. Next tip, losses can be carried forward for 8 years if declared in ITR. This I have already explained in detail. Moving on, adjust your short-term capital losses against short-term capital gain first. So this again is a very important tip. Just because short term is taxed at 15% directly, it is important for us to minimize our tax here. So whatever short term capital gains we are getting, adjust them against short term capital losses. After adjusting, if there are any gains which are left, you will have to pay taxes on that, but at least it will be less tax. And if there are any losses from short term after adjustment, well, they can be carried forward or they can be adjusted towards the long term gains. Last tip, there is no limit to the amount of tax which you can save. The minimum saving is 10k on long term. 10k because 1 lakh is the direct deduction which you can avail from your profits. 10% of that is 10k. So that's the minimum. Maximum, there is no limit because you can always adjust your losses. So no matter how much loss you have in short term or long term, you can adjust those against your profits, and hence you can save your taxes. So that brings us to the end of this particular video. I hope you all liked the video and will be able to use the tips and the content for tax harvesting and saving some money. Do remember to like, subscribe and share my channel, and hope to see you again in future in the next video. Take care. Bye. Tada.